Hello and welcome to this Friday night edition of Animal World Live with me, Brent Leo-Smith. We've got a bit of a short show for you tonight, but I'll explain that shortly. Hello everyone, welcome. Who have we got? Betty, KJJ, Dov, Annie, Redstone, Cal6, Darcy-Ann, Janet, TJS Widget, JS. Welcome. Lovely to have you guys here. And unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of a short show today. We have had a very, very busy day. We have moved home. As you can see, I'm no longer sitting out at Blowbunk. I'm surrounded by the skull tree, and we're sitting outside at my house in the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. Now that we're on level 4 lockdown, we are able to move between our different filming areas, and it is quite nice to be home, even though it was incredibly special to be stuck out on lockdown in the reserve. And we might just do that for fun coming up and go spend a week or two there at a time. Hello Cheryl. Cheryl's upset about her neighbour who stomps his feet. Fortunately, my neighbour's a little bit far away. Although, apparently, my brother, in my absence, who was staying in my house, managed to get a noise complaint during lockdown for playing The Offspring very loud in the middle of the day from our neighbours. So happy to be home, Janet. Cyphus Sigzy, the name of the wine company I mentioned, probably Safari Wines here in Hoedspruit. The owner lives on Leadwood and is often involved when we have to move things like lions. I think, I don't know if I mentioned one now, but yes, I have mentioned them in the past. Thank you, Barbara. Redstone Prime, we were staying on the Rietspruit Reserve during lockdown. My home is not on the Rietspruit Reserve. It is in the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. And it is it doesn't have lions and that, but does have impala and giraffe, and there's quite a lot more houses than on the Rietspruit. Hello Leopardess, hello Barb. It's raining in New York, Dov. Well, we've had quite a lot of late rain, which is obviously very good for the bush. The dams are looking full and fantastic, and there'll be water long into the dry season, which is also going to be great. Darcy-Ann, well, at least your house is still standing. Was a little bit worried about that, but fortunately my younger brother is in his 30s, so one should hope he can keep a house standing for 5 weeks. That's incredible, Peter Panda. I did not know Live Aid got a noise complaint from a lady in Belgium. Hello, Applehead Rob. Hello, Rosalind. So life is slowly returning a little bit back to normal. Obviously, under level 4 restrictions, there's still limited amounts that we can travel, etc., etc. But we are quite excited. And one of the first things I'm going to be busy on is getting ready to move into the new area, and there'll be more information coming on about that next week, which we're very, very excited. The badger had to have some TLC. Kloa. Just worried it's a scorpion. She doesn't normally growl at things that don't sting her. Can someone go check, please? Sorry. Living out in the bush, we do occasionally come across things like parabuthuses, scorpions, which are very, very dangerous, particularly to a small dog like Kloa. And she doesn't normally growl at stuff around the house. Could also be a snake, so I just want someone to go check. Maybe get a bigger torch than a cell phone.
I mean, I can see.
Well, just be careful in case it is a snake. The spitting cobras will be out because of the rain and the frogs.
Can't see anything.
It's probably under there. Okay, just move her away from there and I'll check after we're finished. So that's what you do get for living out here. We have to be... Oh, Chloe is very upset about being moved. Chloe, behave yourself. Hi, Mary. No apple juice during lockdown. Yes, that is correct. Steffi, are we home for good now? Well, we'll be moving between the reserves, but we'll be basing ourselves out of home for the next while. Darcy and Trouble has not seen her warthog friends. We only got in after dark with Trouble. It took us 5 loads to move everything back to the house. You remember we moved all the editing, all the big computers, the server and everything out to the reserve. Janet Long, the USA would have started another revolution if they had to go dry. We do wear masks when we go out to town. Yes, Betty, and I think that'll be the new norm for quite some time. The noise complaint was a joke made at Live Aid. Yes, my brother's joke for jamming the Offspring, my brother's noise complaint for jamming the Offspring wasn't a joke. Apparently it was very loud. Dov says we're a bit blurry tonight, Under. It might be connection. No, it looks sharp here in my monitor. Hola, Akira. Welcome. Now, as I said, we've literally been moving constantly since yesterday, so it's a bit of a short show. We don't have any live catch-ups from the Bush Cams because someone's got to go through that footage. That shall be my brother's new job tomorrow, while he waits to go back to Chitwa. But there was one very interesting piece of news that I grabbed onto in the next little bit, and this is a bigger talking point that is spanning the world at the moment, and in relation to Tiger King and captive big cats, etc., and the different people who are keeping them. And there's a person I have said was an absolute charlatan and full of nonsense, horrible creature, and other words I'm not going to use right now. And he has got himself into trouble, thankfully. But I mean, I think he's got 7 million Instagram followers, and he gets paid, and basically he is a social media influencer. He's come out to Africa and he's got a whole bunch of lions, hyenas and other animals in a very small property, and he claims that he doesn't breed. We found out now that he has bred, so there's lots of stuff. And I've been promising you guys that I will be doing a proper discussion on the captive cat industry in and South Africa and across the world. There's a couple of people in my sights. I decided we've been doing quite a lot of research into it. We want to make sure we've got all our facts correct before we sort of publicly name and shame. So we will be going ahead with that. That will be next week, Friday's Animal World Live. Will be all about the captive big cat trade, the industry, and pointing out some very nasty individuals in it. And as I said, the one good thing about that Tiger King has brought up, has brought a lot of these discussions to the fore. And we just want to be very careful about what we say and what we do. So we've been doing our research very, very, very seriously. And as I said, it's probably going to be a bumper edition because there's a lot to talk about, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions. So if you do have questions about that, please keep them in the holster till next week, Friday. We will be discussing all the nonsense that goes on in the animal trade, and particularly with big cats throughout the world. Exactly, Cheetah Kim. It's a Doc Antle is one of them. There's a lot of nasty people who benefit from wildlife, and there's no real reason for them to do it. My dad's MO is, if you really love animals, you don't keep them in cages. If you keep them in cages, it's to make yourself feel better. She gone straight back there. There's something there. I'll put her on my lap. Chloe is very interested in something that's under our spare water container. And all the wonderful big torches from Lead Lenser are lighting me at the moment. Come sit with your dad. You don't like to listen to everyone else. Come sit here. Are you going to be a good dog? Thank you, Zander. Say hi to everyone. Yes, we're going to sit here because you don't want to listen. There. Oh, rub. So grumpy because you can't go chase what's over there. Exactly, Cheetah Kim. We want to be very, very careful about how we do it. They do play dirty, but it is time to bring them forward. Tom, as I said, let's keep all the questions for that for next week. And so this last week, the Badger took a bit of a beating, so we had to do some maintenance. We had to get a mechanic in to do it. Our make a plan, what are they? Well, mountings failed, but we had to make a plan more mountings because the car shop still wasn't open. So I did some solo safaring, and I think we have a clip of that. Oh, we got two. So let's have a look what I got up to by myself out there with no cameraman with me. I'm out by myself this morning. Sun's just rising. I've got the whole pride around me. Look a little bit hungry. They're on the move, running about, playing. The cubs are being very cute this morning. It's been a great morning so far, but oh, there he goes. Lions running everywhere. See lions all over the place, chasing each other. Great start to a Wednesday. Except BB, right next to me. Pop down into the riverbed, having a drink, having a good play. Isn't this absolutely amazing? Yes, I had a really amazing morning with the Reed Sprayed Pride. The Hahani and Yoleti left the six cubs sleeping in, well, not sleeping, as you can see, playing in the riverbed. I don't need a bath. Thank you, though. I don't need a bath. Dov, yes, I do drive through rocks like that sometimes, and it is quite fun. And it was actually, you've got to realize how lucky I am that I have Wium or Zander with me most times, because to film, drive, and do everything is an incredible amount of work. So I'm very lucky to have the guys with me. But I think my camera work wasn't too bad for someone who doesn't use the camera as often as everyone else. I suppose I better start practicing again, hey? I don't want it to get too good, otherwise they'll make me film too much. Okay, we've got some questions about the lions. How old are the cubs? And what's the age difference between the cubs? About, must be, what are you looking to think too? Dad's looking up to think, trying to reach into his brain. Now you're distracting me. No, I know you just want to go fight whatever under there. So Bucket and BB are a year and 2 months. And the other cubs, what are they? When were they born? Trying to remember now. July, so they must be about 6-7 months old. I'll have to go back and check on that as well. But yes, so very awesome to catch up with the Pride that morning, and I was incredibly lucky because not only did I catch up with the Reed Sprayed Pride, I had an epic encounter with the Melita pack as well. So I had a feeling the wild dogs were going to come down to the river. We can't get a car. So I've just set myself up amongst some rocks on the edge of the river, and the dogs walked right down in front of me. Looks like they're going to keep moving now. So that was actually on foot, can you believe? So I was following the dogs, and they disappeared to one of the areas where I can't even get the badger. And it's a wonderful spot called Rotsval, which translated means rock wall. Hence why I can't take the badger there. So I parked and I jumped down, I rushed down, sat amongst the rocks and waited for them to pop up. And pop up they did. Hi, yes, I know you want to go, but yes. Yes, thanks for the kisses. Thanks for the kisses. So there is a little bit of sad news with the Melita pack, that the one dog has got a broken back leg, and we've seen it and we've discussed with EWT and discussed with the vets, etc. And it's not uncommon for wild dogs to survive on 3 legs, so it was decided to just let nature take its course. And it's quite a common injury with wild dogs, just with the manner they hunt. And it is still with the pack. All 10 are still together. They were seen this morning and all doing well, but we will keep an eye on that dog, and hopefully it will do very, very well. Dov, well spotted, Dov. Indeed, the Melita pack is very, very beige. They've got a lot of light or tan colored dogs in there, which is it makes them quite easily identifiable as a pack. Oh, you're getting so bored with me. Redstone Prime, we don't know what caused the broken leg. Most likely just from hunting. You saw those rocks in the riverbeds, and the dogs course through those riverbeds often, so running fast, a loose rock or something like that. It happened probably about a week ago, and the dog is still with the pack and keeping up with them on 3 legs quite well. It is one of the youngsters, Stephanie, that has got the broken leg. We are going to be doing some interesting work with wild dogs in the future, so keep looking at. We hopefully denning seasons come, so we are hoping we're going to get be able to put a live cam on one of the packs in the area on the den. That is quite exciting, but there's another exciting project I don't want to give too much away from, but that'll be coming up hopefully within the next couple of weeks when we are able to travel a little bit further. Oh, we're getting kisses again. Okay. Now, as I said, we're going to keep it quite short. We've had a really, really busy day, and we just wanted to touch base with you guys. I'm going to go see what Shoa was growling at. I'm thinking it's probably one of the Transvaal thick-tailed scorpions. The Parabuthus transvaalicus, also called the black spitting scorpion, and it is the most venomous scorpion we get in this part of South Africa. All the Parabuthuses are potentially dangerous to human beings, and especially to little hounds like this thing. Hey. But she's very good. Even from a puppy, she growls at them. She doesn't try to bite them. She tries to bite praying mantises, flying ants, and all other things. Oh. Little bar owls, very noisy tonight. You can probably hear him just behind me. Redstone Prime, the dogs do den in almost the same places as hyenas. Sometimes they might even use a den that was previously used as by hyenas. So yes, they do. Where do you think you're going? Brass Beth, she is a Jack Russell Terrier. She is the coolest dog in the world. Aren't you, Trouble, with your big ears? I know you. She's just looking at the spot she's not allowed to go. Hey, horrible dog. Okay, if you guys can deal with a blank screen for a little bit, I'll go check quickly. How's that? Everyone wants to see what's there. Take that with me. Xander, can I pass you the hound? Just put her inside, please. And then I'm going to have to... Oh, yes. Only listens to Dad. Where's the closest of the big torches?
I'll give you one now.
Xander will give me one now. So we'll go see quickly. So just a quick update. Impy, the male cheetah's doing fine. Mabai and the cubs we've seen, they're also doing well. And the hyenas we haven't seen. I saw someone asked... We've heard them, but I actually haven't seen a hyena in an incredible amount of time. I'll be back shortly. I'm just going to make sure. And if it is something that I can catch, I'll bring it back for you. far, whatever it is might have disappeared. I just need to check underneath without getting. Okay. That was a bit of an anticlimax. Wium just said, I hope it did, whatever it was didn't go into my room. So that was a bit of an anticlimax. Sorry about that. But I do have one other thing to show you guys. Chloe, you can go have a look there now. Actually, I forgot to check behind the solar panel. Got the torch, Thunder?
Oh, here's my phone.
Anything there? Nothing. Bit of an anticlimax. As I said, I've got one last thing to show you. Now, am I about to go mountain climbing with a grappling hook? Okay, who? Oh, there we go. My dad said they saw 3 hyena very close to the last den tonight. Okay, guesses. What's this? What is on the other end of this chain and this grappling hook? Any guesses? Let's have a look. Waiting for the guesses to come in. Who can guess what is on the other end of this grappling hook? It's not an anchor. Well, it is a type of anchor, Dov, but probably not what you're thinking. Is it something to do with fishing? It is nothing to do with fishing. Okay, let's have a look. It's an anchor, a snare. JS, you're getting close. A weight, real business, a ship. It is something that fortunately is illegal in South Africa now, but wasn't in the past. And it is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. So this, some of you might recognize. Ugh. I'm not going to set it now. It takes a lot of pressure to put this down. I played with it a bit today. So this is a gin trap, a very, very big gin trap. So it previously probably would have been used when this area was cattle farms to try catch leopards or hyenas, and it is no longer obviously in use. It hasn't been used in quite some time, and it's just incredible. I mean, it takes about 200 kilograms to push this down to open it up, and these are there's a hyena. Whoop. Quite close. Thank you, Vicky. So that is originally a bear trap, but it would have been used on large carnivores. It is, of course, not in use anymore and hasn't been for a long time, thankfully. But very, 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 very scary. So, as I said, they were, I'm not sure. My dad might have a know when these became illegal in South Africa, but they haven't been legal for a very long time. Della, why did you have it? Because I found it, and I thought it was a nice thing to talk about. And I like collecting old stuff. Yes, I like collecting old stuff, and this is very, very old. Probably almost call it vintage. So yes, they used to snare with it. Normally, what would happen is that if a cow or a goat or whatnot had been killed by a predator, hyena or leopard or lion, this would have been opened, set. A piece of meat would have been put on this foot plate here. So this is the foot plate. You can see if we move this, that clips in. This is all a bit rusted. The other one's a bit better working. I think this one's a bit rusted, solid, but basically same print. They would have put a piece of meat in here. And generally they'd actually hope that rather than a foot, a head or a neck or whatnot would be caught in. But yeah, this incredible snapping power. Thank you, Darcy Ann. Mary J, it does belong in a museum. And Dov, it'd be very hard, even for a lion or leopard. The only way they would actually break out of it is by amputating the foot or whatnot that's caught in it. So yeah, it is a very serious machine, this thing, and it's been outlawed in South Africa. The use of gin traps have been outlawed in South Africa for quite a long time, and it can only be used illegally now. So I mean, you can't open it at all. I can't even budge it when it's closed. And as I said, it takes over 200 kilograms of pressure that you push down on here to set it and lock it. But yeah, very, very, very dangerous thing. What I'll probably do with these is we will open them. Maybe we'll put up a video of how they work at a later stage, or maybe we'll do it live. But we'll have to be well set up and not on the table because it would jump. Butterfly, can a human get trapped in it? Almost certainly. And it would take some serious effort and help. You couldn't get out of this by yourself. The hook is attached. So basically, this would have been normally... Oh, it's very heavy. What would happen is once this was set, this would probably have been wrapped around a tree and then hooked like that, so the animal wouldn't be able to run away. So probably hooked like that, and then so it'd be attached to a tree. Mary J says, I've seen these traps work. Yeah, they're horrendous. Now there's lots of different sizes. Some of you will notice I actually shared a post from Mozambique today about gin traps, or poacher handing in his last gin traps, and he now works in Kutada 17, I think, in the Zambezi Delta. So yeah, a very, very scary thing. The first gin trap I ever found was actually with my dad, who I know is watching at the moment, and it was on our family farm. We found a couple of gin traps. There we go. They became illegal in the UK in 1958. So I know this is quite a scary thing and something we can chat about a bit, but one of the only places in the world this type of trap is still legal is in the United States of America. Obviously, I'm not sure if they still use them for bears, but the trapping industry in Alaska and in other parts of rural United States use smaller versions of these to trap beavers, to trap mink, to trap, I think it's a pine marten, bobcat. So it's actually one of the only places in the world where gin traps are still legal. So Richard saying a human stepping on, not paying attention, steps on it, also a poacher get his arm broken, snaps. Exactly. They're very, very dangerous. Now, strangely enough, a very good friend of mine, he solo paddled around Lake Malawi. And as far as I know, he's the only British man to do so. And on the Tanzanian side of Malawi, he was camping and he went off into the bush for a little walk just to have a look what's around, and nearly got caught in one of these. He got very, very lucky. It snapped closed but didn't quite catch him. It just sort of caught him on the edge here. So he was very, very lucky because he was by himself. Nunya, exactly. So we're actually in the process of building a painted dog museum, and this is definitely one of the things that'll go in it. We've got lots of things. You can pass that if you would like. It's a new edition, one I didn't have as part of our museum. This is a new one. Who knows what it is? Oh, it's a bit tall. Let me put it down so you can see the horns nicely there. So this is a new one. I found it while I was tracking. Very, very cool. A few horn moths. Now, horn moths, you see there. Now, horn moths are the same species of moth that we call fish moths, and that you put mothballs on to protect your linen that's in the cupboard. So they're feeding on the keratin, the external carapace here. or the external thing of the horns, and so they're just fish moths. And how I stop them, these are all done. They're not they're all abandoned. They're not living. You can actually see the holes that are left behind in the horn. So what I do is I actually just use my art supplies to stop them. So when I do charcoal drawings and that, I have a little varnish spray that I spray over it, and I spray that over the horns, and that stops the fish moths getting in. Hi, Marcy. It is a kudu. That is who said kudu? And it's not a kudu. It's not a kudu. It's a waterbuck. Yes, it's a waterbuck. It's not a kudu. It is a waterbuck, a male waterbuck. So that's a nice one. It didn't have waterbuck. Let's see if Xander's going to add it to the tree of skulls behind us here somewhere. Now, for those of you, obviously you know, what game reserve has the waterbuck as its emblem? Oh, that's right. Sorry, Xander. Darcian, yes, we might definitely do another drawing auction at some time, but nothing planned at the moment. So yeah, actually one day, well, maybe we'll do a little video on the different things I've collected to go into the painted dog museum. I've been collecting stuff for my dad can probably. I was quite a pain. I actually had to give up quite a lot of my collection. My collection was bigger when I was a teenager than it is now. From growing up on Pinde, I think by the age of 14 I had rhino skulls, elephant skull, hippo. What else did I have? I had some strange ones. Lion, leopard, all that stuff. Yeah, I had huge amounts of things. And fossils, I had bundles of fossils. But I donated all that stuff to my high school for their museum. We moved to Botswana. There we go. Chitwa, Kruger, no. Well, Chitwa's close, but Chitwa's a giraffe. But come on, guys. I taught you this when I was at Safari Live. Okay, I'll give you a little bit longer, and then I will tell you. So another very cool thing that I've got actually filmed a little bit, and I will show you at a later stage, is you guys have got to know these red-headed weaver nests, and there's a whole bunch in the workshop where we were staying, and all of them were completely given up on by the females. So what I found amazing is the little cutthroat finches, which are a tiny little bird, have taken over, like 6 of them, and they're all basically using the red-headed weaver's nest, which I found absolutely fascinating. Oh, thank you, Marcy. Not Londolozi. Mala Mala, no, that's a sable antelope. But Mala Mala and Londolozi and Chitwa all fall within it. Oh, come on, guys. I have taught you this. Sibambili, no. I think Sibambili is a leopard. Mala Mala is a, as I said, sable antelope. Redstone Prime, we can only hope that the hyenas will move back. Juma, no, Juma's a lion. You guys didn't remember all my quizzes in the day. Thorny Bush, what is Thorny Bush? Thorny Bush could also be, I'm trying to remember. Singita is what used to be a kudu. There we go, Daniel from Scotland. The Sabi Sands. The Sabi Sands Game Reserve, their emblem is a waterbuck. And it was because of Harry Kirkman, who was the first warden of the Sabi Sands. And there were a lot of waterbuck around his house. Now, can you believe the first warden of the Sabi Sands is credited with shooting over 1,000 lions in the Sabi Sands? There's a little bit of history. And they were considered vermin, and you had to shoot them to protect the waterbuck and the giraffe and the impala. So how times have changed and conservation has changed, and it is a constant learning thing. Here we go. Sabi Sands, Torchwood, Greater Limpopo. There we go. Ngala is a Karongwe. Nope, no, it was definitely the Sabi Sands. But anyway, guys, as I said, it's been a short one. We've had a really long day, and we're going to eat some food and go to bed. But remember, Tuesday night will be the next animal So I leave my water buck skull alone. And just remember, since we've moved out of the reserve, we're only going to be doing 2 shows a week, and that will be Tuesday and Friday. And so Tuesday, Friday for Animal World Live, and this Sunday, the last episode of The Tale of Two Mothers. Am I right, Wium? No, we're going to have to push it, apparently. Lots of work to do, but we will be updating you when the last episode of Tale of Two Mothers is, but it will be soon. Other than that, Animal World Live Tuesdays and Fridays. And remember, next week, Friday, will be the big cat in captivity episode. So we'll be discussing that. So get your questions ready for that. But from us here back at the dog den on the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, it's been wonderful, and good night.